I'm not sure if there's ever been a time before where HR and HR departments have more influence or responsibility than they do today. And I know one of the primary drivers in HR right now especially is to expand our diversity and inclusion initiatives. And I've been invited to several companies around the world to address that. And I recognize the wisdom to diversity and inclusion. It's pure. The fact that we are all equally valuable as humans, equally capable as human beings for the experience of growth and positive change. I recognize that. But one of the things a lot of HR departments don't recognize is the primary obstacle for human beings to recognize what is ultimately true and good and rooted in all the things that diversity and inclusion represent: love, kindness, tolerance, acceptance. See, the primary obstacle for most human beings to experiencing the wisdom in that is fear. So if you want to develop programming that really creates cultural change, that's not enforced by policy and procedure alone, we have to address the individual and collective barrier of people and culture to recognizing the wisdom that policy and procedure represents. And that barrier is fear. So as an HR representative or an employee of a larger company, you have to ask yourself, what do we as a culture do to better understand how fear demonstrates itself within our team members and within our larger culture? And how are we going to address that fear? What do you do with it? What is fear? And as we develop a better understanding of that, then we can create deep-seated, genuine inclusivity and respect for diversity. See, if we just do it from the outside, which I recognize is necessary, we must do everything we can to legally protect folks who deserve that protection, value folks who deserve that value. But if we only do it from the outside, what can happen is that you can start to foster a deep resentment within the culture of the company because people don't understand why they're being asked to change the way they feel. See, they're not only seeing it as a request to change the way they act, they're seeing it as a request to change the way they feel. And then we, to really facilitate that, have to understand the nature of feelings. See, it's all about emotional intelligence. So if you want to do something to create a culture that truly represents diversity and inclusion, truly represents an environment that invites each member of that company to expand their capacity in an extraordinary way, we must cultivate emotional intelligence. And that's what I do through the 4 streams of compassion-based high performance and in my individual workshops. If we're going to be able to better understand fear as a driver, we must introduce people to fear in a personal way, in a cultural way, and then teach them to relate to fear and understand the wisdom that it holds, to ultimately meet the experience of fear with their own wellspring of loving kindness, so that we can pull the wisdom from it, expand our individual capacity as well as our cultural capacity. This results in extraordinary positive change, sustainable growth, and enjoyment at work.